Hello, everybody. My name is Danielle Elledge, and I'm here to share with you my beginner's guide to special education. All right, a beginner's guide to special education, a guide to the terms, processes, and basics of the special education system. All right, we're going to begin here, which would be the inside flap, which spills over to the back of the brochure, as you see. I always like to start with the knowledge that parents and students' involvement is a huge part in this whole special education process. The whole purpose is to help the students to reach their main goals. So they're really integral in this decision process. Let's start with some vocabulary. We have vocabulary such as IDEA and FAPE, explaining the laws that have to do with children and their right to get education under the federal government. There's related services, which talk about the different services such as speech and physical therapy. IEP, so it walks them through what exactly an IEP is, as well as PWN, the prior written notices. It explains what their safeguards are and their rights and protections, as well as explains what the least restrictive environment is, and this whole idea that children should be in the general education setting as much as possible. All right, next up, we're going to move to the main portion of the brochure. This is a roadmap to special education. This is basically meant to walk parents through what steps they may be going through or will be going through as their child proceeds through the special education system. It begins with a referral. So their child may have been referred for assessment by their teacher, by their daycare provider, or by one of those outreach programs that IDEA requires states to have. As we know, early intervention is really key when it comes to learning with learning disabilities. So the next step after referral is evaluation. These are the assessments or tests that are given to the students. There are a couple different ways that they could be evaluated, either in school with their teachers or out of school with specialists, usually having to do with doctor recommendations and things like that. After they have been evaluated, we have a meeting that determines their eligibility. So you find out whether the child qualifies for services or not. If they do qualify, they can go ahead and move straight forward. If they don't qualify, there's still quite a few options that parents have. They can have a 504, which is just a little bit less restrictive, but still offers some structured supports for the students. Or if they completely disagree, as you can see right here, they can file a due process, and they can request a hearing and some mediation with the school district to come to an agreement. So we're going to assume that they did get qualified and move right forward to their first IEP meeting. This is where they build the child's educational team, any specialists who are going to help them with either speech, occupational therapy, anything like that. This is where they're going to build their goals for the year and where they want to be after high school, just to get them, towards a goal, on a goal process. After their conversations, the parents will get a PWN, as we mentioned earlier, notifying them of any of the changes. Each quarter, they'll get a progress report on the goals created at that IEP meeting, and they will get the progress of how their students are doing on those IEP goals. So that's separate. That's not grades per se. This is on their goals, how they're doing, progressing towards their goals. And as I mentioned, IEPs are annual. So each year, the team will meet again to discuss the progress, any new goals that they need to set, old goals that may have been met or need to be amended, how the accommodations are doing, if they need more or less accommodations, and any changes in need. As you see here with the little stars, this could just keep repeating every year as the child progresses through school. As they go through the next grade, they'll have another IEP meeting, assess their needs. They'll make progress towards their goal, have reports on them, and then have, meet up again at the next IEP meeting. That is it for my brochure. Thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed my presentation.